Hey, hey, glad to have you in the building with me tonight. I'm double checking my mic to make sure I got audio going on. Hey, so glad. Hey, if you are looking for simplifying your productivity ecosystem, you've taken on many different applications, you don't know which one to use when, or you're spending a lot of time going back and forth between this application and that application, this environment and that environment. Tonight is for you because we're going to continue our conversation talking about how to use the Google environment for everyday activities that we do in our enterprises. Now, what do I mean when I say enterprise? I mean our corporate roles, if we're using Google, I mean our family, I mean our volunteer service, I mean our small business, I mean our solo creation opportunities and environments. All of those things, our family, ourselves, communicating with other people, planning activities, planning events. That's what I mean when I say our enterprise. Perhaps you are a bivocational professional, meaning you do more than one thing and you're balancing these different activities, different parts of your life. Most of us fit into that. Well, one powerful way to be productive is to simplify, get down to what is actually important and will move your needle forward so that you don't spend a lot of time tinkering and playing and trying to figure out how an application works. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to use something that the majority of us use every day, the Google environment. So before I get into that, I want to say hello to some of the folks who have shown up and just welcome you to the live tribe tonight. Hello, Frank Jackson. So glad to have you in the building, and you're waving in the lounge, and glad to have you here. And we have the emotional CEO. Yes, happy Friday, live tribe. Thank you for being here, and I want you to get value this evening. Hello, Miss Lisa Maria. So glad to have you. Yes, you made it. I'm so glad, loving the content that you're putting out. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting in the reps. As Chris Stone says, get the reps in and the rest will come along. You'll get better along the way. And here comes that little red car. Don't come for me today, Tora. Be nice. I'm going to have to take your keys from you. But so glad to have you in the building, sis. So happy to have you here. And Miss Laura Thompson, glad to have you in the building. Always enjoy having you because you do a tremendous job and helping everybody on Office Hours Global. And so thankful that you are taking the time to be with me. And here's the man himself, Mr. Chris Stone, in the building. Hello, sir. So glad to have you here. And if you decide you want to come on here and impart some wisdom, please let me know and I'll shoot you the link. And here she is, our sister. Hey, Tora, that panel discussion you were talking about, here she is. We talked her up. Hey, Yolanda B. Ravens Talk with Yolanda. We have been missing you, sister, so much. So, what am I talking about tonight with this Google world? The last couple of weeks I've been talking about how do you use the Google environment, the many different applications that many of us don't look beyond Gmail. We might look at the calendar, but we don't look at how these applications can work together for us to form a complete work environment or work management system or an ecosystem. All of those words work. Use the one that works for you to be productive. And I've talked about and shared how I use some of these, but today what I want to do is show you some straightforward examples of how I use these and really let you see what you can do. And I want to use I'm going to use Google Docs, if I can speak English today, Google Docs. I'm going to use Google Calendar. I might put a little Evernote in there to show some integration. And we'll decide if you guys want to see something else. And if you do, let me know. maybe a little bit of integration with Google Keep, but for it to all come together. And since everyone who's in the audience tonight are creators, throw some questions in. I want to be able to answer your questions and give you value. But for my replay crew, please leave a comment and a question in the description or in the comment afterwards on replay, and I'll be glad to answer. In fact, I started doing Google content because replay viewers were asking me questions about Google. And that was really why I started, even though I've been using these tools for a very, very long time. So, Google Sheets, you want to see something about Google Sheets? Okay. I'm thinking very quickly to see if I have put the plugin on Google Sheets on this demo account. And if I didn't, I'll take a look. We'll see. Okay. Because I know I've talked about how I use Google Forms, Google Sheets, Google Gmail, and Google Docs to make an entire workflow in the end so that I literally don't have to do anything when somebody fills out a Google form except get the information and everything else is taken care of. Um, so I don't know if I put that plugin on this account. If I didn't, Laura, you're gonna remind me to make a video showing you what I did. So let's hop over to the computer and take a look. Hey, Michael Fleming, so glad to have you in the building, sir. Glad to have you here. So I am sharing my screen. I'm clearly in a Google Doc, just a plain old Google Doc. And let me just show you what I did to set up. I created a blank document. I named it agenda. I also created a, hold on a second. I don't want to show you something I shouldn't. Let me just double check myself. Yeah, okay. So I also created an appointment here. And what I want to show you is tying your Google Doc to your appointment. And then I want to tell you why this is important. Hey, Denise, glad to have you in the building. So I have a Google Doc, I have a Google appointment here. Hey Aubrey, glad to have you here. And I want to create an agenda that I can update, I can give collaborators an opportunity to update, but I also want that agenda or that document to be in the meeting description. And I want, regardless of what other tools someone use, whether they use Microsoft Outlook, they use Apple Calendar, they want the agenda to be in their local version of their appointment. So the way you do this is start a Google Doc and use the at symbol. Many people don't use this. I'm doing it this way on purpose. If you hit the at symbol, you can type the word meeting and you can start by saying, I want, let me do this correctly here. I'm changing it. Chris, remember you said put the reps in? This is a case where I'm doing something dumb here because I just did this. Let me go back. Okay. So I'm going to say meeting. What I want to do is I want to tie this document to the show collaboration. Here's the key. The event is on my Google Calendar and I can pick it. What that does is it puts this document, a link to this document, in the meeting description. I didn't have to do anything else. If I had attendees already selected, invitees into that meeting, their names would show up here. In this case, I don't have any, which is fine. Now I can change this document and say, these are my topics. And below here, I'm going to put notes. Just structure it however you want to structure it. You can make tables, you can do colors, you can do all kind of things. You can change the color, you can change the font, you can all of that detail I'm going to leave to you. I'm assuming, and if that's not true, that you know how to do those things, we can cover that. But the key is I've now linked this meeting today called Show Collaboration to this Google Doc, right? Remember, I said you can put action items in here and assign them to people. So you're collaborating, you and one, two, three, four, five, however many people you're meeting with, for whatever your reason. What has happened now is, let me get out of this and let me close this, go back. And it should have, why didn't it do it? Because it has always done it in the past. Yeah, can you show how that's linked again? Let me go back to it. Okay, so all I did was, I'll start with the fresh one, Denise, just so you see where I started from the beginning. I did just create a Google Doc, just a plain old everyday Google Doc. And the easy way is click here when these quick links show up. This is the easy way. Click meeting notes. Then you can pick the event right here and it puts it in there. And oh, I know what I didn't do. You have to, over here in the window, you click attach and it attaches that document into your meeting description. I'm going to open it back up so you should be able to see it. So now that document is right here in this meeting description. Okay. If I open this up here, it's just going to go back to that document. If I send this meeting, I add someone to this meeting, I'm going to come off because I don't want to reveal this person's personal email account, but I'm going to add someone to this meeting. And since I have to put their personal email account in, I'm going to not share it with you all. Frank, I'm sending this to you. Look, I'm saying I'm sending it to you. I got to remember your email address. That's okay. I got it here. Jafar. Doo, doo, doo. All right. Now, I'm gonna come back what I did, and I hope this doesn't show. Oh, it did. Frank, I'll blur that out because I was trying not to show your email address. So I'll blur it out. But I added Frank to the meeting, and um, James, I'll come back to your question. So whoever I add, if that individual is using a different mail account or calendar account, let's say they're using Apple Mail, this document is still going to be in their appointment in Apple Mail, whether they're on their on a desktop, a laptop, an iPad, an iPhone, whatever device they're using their calendar on. That document is going to right, I will blur that out. Where yeah, everybody's not gonna send Frank an email. I'm gonna blur his email address out when we finish this thing right here tonight. Uh Professor Hicks telling on me. But what it does is it allows you to be able to get meeting details. So imagine in your world, whatever you do, you're collaborating with another creator. You've got a document that you want to share. You could create it as a meeting note and structure the document however you want it structured. What does that do? The person doesn't have to go to a browser. This is the efficiency and the productivity piece that I want you to take away from this. The person doesn't have to necessarily go to Gmail. They simply need to open up the appointment that they received and the document is attached. They can then open it, read it, add comments as long as you give them edit rights. They can add to it. They can see what's going on with it, and you're both very efficient. You haven't forced your collaborator to come into your world, but you've made it easy for them to have access to the data that you need. That is it is very, very simple. But sometimes the most powerful tools we can use and methods we can use are the simplest. I submit way too many times we overcomplicate what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and don't use the tools such as this Google that's right in our laps. We have it every day. I watch people all day, every day doing complicated things when the answer is literally already right in front of them. How to be efficient. So that's one is linking documents into a meeting appointment. Okay. I'm going to take Frank out of there because everybody has seen his email address now, and I'm going to have to get rid of that because I don't want his email all over, YouTube for everybody to send him emails, right? But the other thing, if you go back to that document, you can do if you're talking with whoever you're collaborating with, and you all agree to who's going to take care of action items. Well, add them right in the document. I've watched lots of people tell you what I see every day. They take the action items, they move them someplace else and lose track of them. And they can't remember, well, what were we supposed to do? Or what did we Yeah, okay. Frank, you real funny. Uh, what did we agree to do? Well, who was going to do it and when did they agree to do it? This is the efficiency and the productivity. Whatever you're agreeing to do in this meeting, because both of you can now be working in the same document. One person may be in a browser, like I am, and one person may be in Outlook, or the other person may be in Apple Calendar. It doesn't matter because the same document will open up. You can assign task. Here's the trick. Remember, this little square, that's what I call it, can become an action item that goes on the Google Tasks list. And watch, it's going to do something crazy just because I'm trying to do this. Should I admit that even with my glasses, I sometimes have a hard time seeing? Yeah, I do. And I admit it. And I don't feel bad about it. Yeah, see, I'm doing it wrong. Ah, da, 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 da. Oh, I just realized what it is. I don't have any attendees in here. I took them out. Doggone it. I'm thinking how to solve this without displaying his email address all over Tarnation again. I'm not coming up with it. It'll come to me because I do this without thinking about it, usually. So, what we're going to do Chris Stone gonna get me and James Hicks because I do something every day, and now when I have to show it, my brain is going to sleep and I'm not seeing. These here, actually, I can turn them into action items that go to Google Task. But for some reason, my brain doesn't want to cooperate today. It's okay. We're going to keep moving. Remember last week that let's say we've got all of our notes and we've taken our notes, we've got our action items. There's a way around this if you forget. Like Florence just had old people brain doing what it's doing. Don't remember? I see you, Frank. Thank you. Remember this little email symbol here? If you forget and you want to make sure you're communicating, you can you're still in this Google document. Click the little email symbol icon. It'll open up mail. If you have it addressed to other people, you can send it to the other people and they still have the task. What did you not have to do? This is the thing. This is about being efficient and learning how to use these tools together. Google Docs, you shared the agenda right from Google Docs with someone in their calendar invite. You've collaborated, or more than one of you, 2, 3, 4, 10, however many it is, can take notes, add action items, update right in the same document. And then, Tora, I'm taking the keys. Just saying. You can now, if you have a little brain thing that happens like Florence, I'm a real human. This is not recorded. You can email it. And you can come back and you can email it as you get updates. You have not, what you've avoided, retyping content, taking, copying, and pasting, re-entering email addresses. These are all of the things you don't have to do using this method, right? Knowing whether you missed someone, forcing or basically having someone get out of an environment that they are already used to in terms of managing their calendar. By using one tool. What do you mean, Denise, you were able to email the agent but couldn't access the calendar feature? Please clarify. Please, what do you mean? Yeah, please clarify. You were able to email the agent but couldn't access the calendar feature. Please give me some clarification there. I'm more than willing to help you. I just need a little bit of clarification. So, efficiency is huge here because now I can just send this email off. If this is 10 people, I can send it to all 10 people. I don't have to do anything more. That's the integration and the efficiency that you gain. And when I say efficiency, it's being productive. Why? You're doing the same amount of work, you're getting the results, yet you're using fewer clicks. No swivel, what in the industry we call swivel chair copying from here to there to there to there to there. Not retyping. You just put your data in one place. That is the power. This is simple, 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 but it is very powerful. So we've gotten some questions here. I'm going to come back and I want to try to answer a few of them here. All right. Let's see. First question we're going to answer. The question is, do you have to have Google Workspace or can personal Google accounts do this too? This is just plain old everyday personal Google. You can use it with personal or with Workspace. It works in both. My demo account that I'm using is just a plain old Gmail account. I'm doing this right in there. And Doesn't require anything but just a little bit of thinking. You do have to think a little bit about what you want to accomplish, but it works smoothly, except when Florence's brain decides to take a hike. And I'll give you a few examples where I really do use this, which is how I know. I use it in ministry when I'm meeting with people. I use it in volunteer service when I'm meeting with people. Um, I haven't used it in Tora. I'm gonna answer your question here. I haven't used it as much in content creation. Um, I use Evernote to share page with creators who I'm collaborating with for the show and for the summit. I use Evernote for that. However, I can attach this Google Doc directly in Evernote and get the same result. So, James, for your question, absolutely, you can use it with either personal Gmail or with Workspace, and it'll continue to work. Okay. The next question that I have is Tora. James, she's putting us on blast. Will you be utilizing this method for the pre-meeting with at James Hicks on part two of the cloud technology in your workflows? Professor Hicks, get her, please. Get her. But you could, right? A beautiful thing is, frankly, you could extend this out to a lot of different places, different ways to use it. The third one, and Denise, I'll come back because I'm trying to understand. I was able to email the agent, but couldn't access the calendar feature. And I'm not really clear on what agent you're talking about. Let me see if you gave me clarification. Oh, agenda. Okay. All right. You opened an agenda, couldn't find the calendar feature, emailed the agenda because the share feature opened up, so email was the option. Okay, let's um let's do this. I'm going to show you a couple things here. Let's say you're in your calendar. Now, here the way this is how Florence does it. When I'm going to use this method, I log into Gmail, I go to calendar.google.com. And let's say I'm scheduling a meeting on whatever day, I just picked a day, the 24th. This new meeting. We're going to call this new meeting. This is where I said, think about what you want to accomplish a little bit before you start. So you made the meeting and you don't do anything else. You're not inviting anyone. You just made the meeting on the calendar, right? That's step one. Step two is you create a new document. And let's just say we're going to call this new meeting to match the other. This is all in your browser. You go here, you add it, and now what I want to do is pick this new meeting. And this is the key. Over here on the side, it pops up and says attach meeting notes. You click attach. That links that appointment, that document into that appointment. That's the key. I'll show you another way you could do it. I like this way better. That's really how hard it is for you. Okay. Another way you could do it to link it is go back to the calendar, start an appointment, and down here in the description, you see these icons in the editor? The very first icon is add a Google Drive attachment. You could click that And now you could add that meeting, insert that meeting into the description right there. So that's an alternative. And then you add your guest, send the meeting appointment off, and away you go. Even if you go back to the appointment in your on another device, your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, you will see that document attached. And you're not restricted to one sole document attached. The If you've ever had this happen, what I'm about to say, put a 1 in the comment. You send an agenda out to people. They don't remember what email it was in. They don't remember what it was called. They don't remember when they got it. They don't even remember that they got it. They don't remember where it came from. They saved the file somewhere on their computer and now they can't find the file. If that happened, let me just tell you, that happens to me every day. It happens to me literally every day in my corporate world. I get emails, text messages, phone calls, you name it, paper airplanes. Where is the agenda? The way I stopped it was exactly what I'm showing you here. I attached the agenda in the meeting description. So the person doesn't have to remember whether they got it, when they got it, what it was named. They simply have to go to their calendar and see the agenda document. The difference that Google has made is not only does it attach it in the description, right? We now have a live document the person can open up and edit with you. It's not just a attachment that's not linked that you can open up and work together. So, that if that little trick has helped you, let me know. I hope it has. And if it didn't, it's very helpful. I found it very helpful to me. Okay. I see your question, Tora. I'll come back to you on that one and we'll answer it. So I said that you could link this document to Evernote. Now, in this case, Evernote is simply a proxy for any other tool like Notion or ClickUp or Trello that you use. Those types of work management software, you can do exactly the same thing that I'm sharing with you. Evernote and Google have a tight integration. So even if I don't want to be in Google and I want to stay inside Evernote, I can link them together. And here's how I would do that. Open up my Evernote account, create a document, a um, a note, a blank note, and then the at symbol. No, it's not the at symbol. The slash command, and you can type Google, and you can go directly to your Google Drive. So you have these two accounts linked to you have your Evernote and your Google accounts linked together. You set that setting in Evernote. And then I can pick the document, link it, and it sticks it right inside of the Evernote document. So if I'm working in Evernote and I don't want to have to remember where this is literally what I do. I don't want to have to remember where that file was, and I may want to have some other assets, videos, prompts, links, other things that I want to have access to, or maybe this is a running list of meetings that I have with someone. I just link them here. Now, this is linking back to that Google document. the other party still has the Google document in their description. I haven't changed anything for my collaborator. I've just made it convenient for me. So imagine this kind of environment. This is about integration or connecting things together to be efficient and productive. You've got a script, you've got um, marketing promotions, you've got a smart guide, you've got a tool, anything that you're using to promote your enterprise. You can use this simple process, and you don't have to go between 15 different applications. So this is working with multiple applications, but using the Google environment or the Google ecosystem as your hub. Questions, comments, feedback. Y'all let me know if this is making sense to you. And nobody put a one in, so I guess you guys don't have people asking you, where's the agenda and did you send it and I can't find it. Am I the only one who really, truly? Y'all let me know. Am I the only one who has that experience? Please tell me if I am. So, because if I am the only one having that experience, I must really be doing something wrong. All right. So the question that Tora has is, how do you avoid Google Docs turning into digital clutter when multiple people are editing at once? Great question. Google Docs has one of the best built-in version control capabilities in the marketplace. You can always go back to a previous version. You can save those versions. It automatically puts the versions in the document. That's how you avoid digital clutter. You don't have to make multiple copies of the document, and yet you have access to, let me go back here. You have access to the versions. So let me bring it up. And hold on, I'm going back to where I was, y'all. I haven't made any edits in here, so let me do this. Okay. So I'm going to show you. So if you have a document open, if you go in the menu, you can go to version history and you can see version history. So again, from the document, go to file, go to version history. You can create a new version. You can see version history. This will tell you the different versions. So this was one, this was another, and I could keep going. So I'm not creating multiple copies of this, I'm creating multiple versions. Every time there's a change in the Google Doc, Google will create that version for you. So you can go back, even if you delete a whole section of the document and you need to get it back, just go to the version history, go to a prior version, and grab what you need and copy it into the current version. So that's how you avoid that digital clutter. The other is really, truly, you want to have a decent file structure. It doesn't need to be complicated. I basically use 4 top level folders that I start with. If you've ever been on my channel, and I'll say this now in case you haven't, I actually use Tiago Forte's Para with a little modification layout for my file structure. That means projects, areas of focus, resources, and archive. Every document I have, every video I have, every audio I have, every graphic file I have will fall into one of those categories. If it's a project, at some point it's going to come out of a project and it may move to reference, it may move to archive. I even have my production copy of Evernote set up the same way. Projects, areas of focus, resources, and archive. So those four top level, it's what I use so that I get out of that digital clutter and I can't figure out where any of my documents, any of my information is. That's how I deal with it. Okay. So let me go back, see if there are any other questions. Denise, thank you. Thank you for letting me know I am not the only one. Thank you. Thank you. You get that out. I was trying to try my directions, set up a meeting agenda, include it like you showed us. Absolutely. If we need to go back over it, I am more than willing to do so. Okay. But yeah, I use these capabilities and I'm moderating what I say because I don't want to come off harsh to y'all. We have made us being productive far more complex than it needs to be. As much as I use technology, and I do consistently all of the time, I have learned for me, the simpler I can make me getting the information I need, communicating with those I need to communicate with, and being able to find the information quickly is what makes me productive. Too many tools. I've used basically the same set of tools for years and years and years. I've added a few new ones in, but my core tools have been the same for years. Years. Evernote I've been using since 2008. That so when I say years, I mean years. And so what I've learned to do is maximize what the tool does for me and then understand where I want to use it. This trick that I just shared with you, this capability with scheduling in Google was something I started doing when Google started adding features into their product. For a long time, it wasn't there. But a few years ago, maybe about 3 years or so ago, I noticed I could use it. And I started using it when it made sense to do so. I sit on 4 different boards right now. 3 of them I use this method with all the time. So, it's the integration. It's the integration. Yes, and it does have I'll show you that. It does have the calendar booking section. I'll go to calendar. We'll do that quickly. Let me go back. Y'all testing me today. So Tora asked a question. Hold on. Let me show you what she asked. Tora asked a question. Does this have an appointment booking section in it? It also something like Calendly. It does. Here's the limitation that I found James Christone may have a different experience. The payment piece does not exist. That's the reason I don't use it when I'm using it. I require payments because I can't attach to it people being able to pay for the appointment beforehand. But outside of that, I do use this calendar piece. So you go into your calendar, you go to create, you create an appointment schedule. Then you name it. Y'all want to watch me type? That is sad news, I'm telling you. And you can now set up your availability. You can do custom setup, whatever you want. And you can say, I'm not available on Mondays. I'm not available on Saturdays. I'm not available on Fridays. I'm available on Thursdays from, let's say, 1 p.m. to 7:30. And then you can adjust your availability, by the way, in between this. And then you can set it, and then you can add a photo and all of that stuff. We're not going to do that. You can add a description. You can create a form if you want. So if you want to collect information from people when they're booking the appointment, you can. And you just save it. And it books on it puts the time on your calendar. I just made this a one thing. You could make it repeating. So it blocks that time. And now you can give this link to people and they can just go, you grab the link, grab the link and share it with somebody. How do you share it? Text message, email, your website, wherever you want to share that link. And now the person can book with you and they only have available the time that you set. You can put time between so you can't schedule anything closer than say 30 minutes, so you need a 30-minute window in between. You can say it can you they have to book they can't book any later than 8 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours before. And I do that because I don't want someone booking time with me with less than a 24-hour notice because my schedule is crazy. So I need to be able to see that at least 24 hours ahead of time. I don't schedule anything where people can book, say, in 4 hours and get to me. I don't do it that way. But all of the parameters that you use in Calendly, like time between, asking questions, um, and you can set up multiples of these. So if you have multiple things you want to set them up for, say, um, a discovery call for one set, and since you said it, Miss Tora, booking guests on your show. Or in the case with James Hicks, since you want us to do a summit together, booking guests. So having those people who are going to speak for your event pick the times that they're going to pick. So you can use your imagination, but yes, it has it in there and many people don't know that that's available right in again, this is not Google Workspace. This is just available in plain old everyday Gmail that people just think it's my mail and my calendar. You could put a payment link in. I don't know if you could put it in a form, but you could certainly put it if you're using external payment separately, like your like Thrivecart, you could probably put the link in the meeting description and have it be there. I hadn't thought about that, but you could do it that way. But it won't pop up and show the person the payment information. They'd have to know to click on the link in the description, and that's the part that I don't particularly care for personally. That's just me. So that's another way. And you can build out your booking calendar however you want. And you all know I'm a fan of using booking calendars. I'm a big fan of using booking calendars. Again, this doesn't have to be, this can be family reunions. This can be family weekly get togethers or monthly get togethers, faith based organizations, things. It can be anything you want it to be. That is the trick. Figure out what you want it to be and then just set the tool up to work for you. Okay. Any other questions? Tora, what do you mean by one board did you in? One board did me in. What in the world are you talking about? Chris Stone, if you're still here, she's coming for you. May as well expand the cast and add Chris Stone. You real funny. My daughter recommended Google Docs to me long ago. I'm just used to Word, but I see everyone has access to Google. Yes. Um, Many organizations, especially small organizations, nonprofits, a lot of them will use Google. And the reason, it's easy access. The person doesn't have to buy a subscription to use it. And it gives the people access to information. Is it sometimes as quote unquote as the word sexy as some of the others? No, not out of the box, but it serves the purpose. I volunteer with Office Hours Global, Laura, you know this, which is a literally a global organization, all 100% volunteers in the broadcast and media space. And most of what we do with Google Sheets, Google Docs, and Gmail Calendar and Discord. That's other than the unique things like video editing, um, Opus Clip, those things that are unique to broadcasts, but just productivity, it always comes back to using Google because whoever you're working with, for the most part, they can get to it. And it doesn't require a huge learning curve to do the basics. How do you edit okay, another question here. The question, how do you edit the calendar page? Are you talking about the booking or the regular one? If you're talking about a regular one, you just double click on it and change the name and hit save. If you're talking about the booking, you can double click on it and come in and say, I want this to repeat from May 23rd to May 30th. And I wanted to repeat every week. Okay, that's what I'm showing you the booking. So I'm customizing that. And right up here is where my title is. So I can change my title to whatever I want it to be. Okay. I can repeat it, like I said, custom every week for that period of time and hit next, fill in whatever I want. And you can, by the way, look down here, you can set confirmations and reminders as well, just like Calendly, and hit save. So that just stuck it in there. Okay. That's how you do it. So see, next week I've got some appointments in here. This is time that I give people a link and they could book time right in those time slots on my calendar. If you're doing this and you have multiple calendars, you can have it check multiple calendars. So in this Google account, if I've got 2 or 3 or 4 different calendars, I can also configure this to make sure that it's checking those times. Okay. If I needed to. Why are you talking, Tora? Why are you messing with Discord? Leave Discord alone. Discord is not doing anything. Discord is not doing anything to you. Leave Discord alone. So here's the page when I made that change, it put those times in here. And if I don't want to see it, where it says my appointments, I think, no, my time. Mm, is that it? Yeah, I can uncheck it so I don't have to see it, but people can still be booking, so I don't see that, but I'll actually see the appointments when they get put on my regular calendar. So I can either see them or I can uncheck it and not see it. So if I don't want to see that clutter, but I know it's there and I send the link to someone and they can book the appointment. And once the appointment is booked, that time, you should let me know if you can see my screen. Thank you, because folks are saying they can't see my screen. Um, they can once the time is booked, it becomes unavailable to book over it, which is why I love booking systems because I don't have to manage all of that back and forth. Again, productivity booster. Productivity booster. So that's one way. Thank you, Miss Denise, for letting me know. And it's easy collaboration, easy integration, very efficient, which means productive. You don't spend the time managing this type of data yourself. You set it and you go. Take what we talked about last week if you weren't here. What I shared was make a document that as a template for for example, a meeting agenda, or can imagine it being a script. Imagine it just being a script that you're following or a workflow or a um a show flow, since I know all are creators and you're doing video. Whatever this is, this template, this is my show flow, right? So now I just structure my show flow to segment 1, and I can't type in front of y'all, 2, whatever. But imagine this is the content. Set it as a template, and all you're doing is updating this template week by week, month by month, however often. And if you need to send that show flow to someone else, you're not having to do anything other than what we talked about earlier. This is an alternative to using old people brain. I'm grabbing the word if you're watching me. Um, Snippets. Keep shortcuts and snippets. This is an alternative to that text expansion snippets. Both will work. This is built in. It's already there. You already know how to create a document in Google Docs. Just create it and let it be your template. Like I shared with you all, I use it for agendas. I have one organization where I'm the secretary, I'm on the board, I'm the secretary. So I have regular meeting agendas, regular notices that go out, regular reminders that go out. I have them set in in a Google Doc as a template, and once a month, because I know when those things need to go out, I set them up. I use the scheduler. Remember, we talked about using the scheduler in Gmail, and I scheduled them. So I'm done for the month. I may spend 40 minutes for the entire month. Every reminder, every ask for what I need, every agenda template is sent out to the entire board for the entire month, and it goes out on time. I've spent 40 minutes once a month, and I don't have to come back to it because everything else is now just rolling on its own. What many people will do is they will sit and make the new document from scratch every time. They'll start a new email from scratch every time. That's not productive. And you have the answer right here in a tool that's easily accessible. It's what I want you to get out of this. Use the tools that make sense that you already have. This is a fully working ecosystem that you can have work for you. You can basically put overalls on it and have it work for you. Any last minute questions, any comments? Uh, did I run Chris Stone off? I haven't seen him comment again. Did I run Laura off? And Laura, I know you want to see that Gmail, the Google Sheet, so I'm gonna put that together for you because I talked about it, but I know I didn't. I absolutely know that I did not. Let me. I'm sure I didn't. No, not there. Go back here. Go here. Google Sheets. I'm just gonna double check myself because I don't think that I did. Oh, document. I did put it in here, but now I would have to set it up. Let me set it up, and I'll do that next week for you. But it's called Document Studio. That's the and it's you can use it at the starter level free. And that's the secret sauce for doing moving all of that data from a Google form to a spreadsheet to a PDF to an email going out using this Document Studio. Okay. No, you cannot. He's being funny, y'all. No, you cannot make an appointment for June 21st. So, Laura Thompson, I owe you. You will have your answer and I will put it together and show you. I would show you one that's working, but I have a lot of people's personal information like family member names and birthdays and home addresses in my production one, so I can't show that. So I'll make a example in this demo account and show it for you. I promise I will do that. Any last minute questions beyond Frank Jackson trying to be funny? Anything that you need me to clarify further? Okay. Well, thank you all. I wanted to show these two or three ways. Again, this is just setting up a simple but straightforward yet powerful working environment with a tool that you already have access to, and the majority of us have accounts in already. That's my goal. Not making it hard, not making it complicated, very straightforward for you. I will share this because I said I was going to show you all this and I didn't do it. Just know if you, and I know David Hunt uses Google Keep a lot, and I don't know if I've ever shown you this before. So let me just do this very quickly. If you if you use Google Keep, you can create notes, and then with those notes, you can be taking these notes and you can copy the note to a Google Doc. And once you copy the note to the Google Doc, you can go back. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not about to show something else. Can you share your calendar with No. What are you talking about share my calendar with others? See, Frank is starting trouble talking about share my calendar with others. And this is the Google Doc that was created directly from Google Keep. Again, that integration in a tool that's one ecosystem. If you need to take quick notes, you can use Google Keep. You can start throwing ideas in. Then you want to flesh those ideas out. You click that button to push that note over to Google Docs and go from there. Can you share? Okay, can you share the Google Calendar with others? You can. You can share Google Calendar with individuals. You can make it publicly available. You can put it on a website, however you want to share it. So yes, you can. If that's the question. If I didn't answer the question correctly, let me know. But yes, your Google Calendar is completely shareable with others, and you can control how much they can see and what they can do. Okay? And what Tora, what is it you want to do on June 22nd? Ma'am, what are you trying to do? Okay. Denise, I know you may be, just so you know, and I want to be cognizant. You may be going back and forth between Google and Apple, because I do show how to do some of these similar integrations using the Apple ecosystem, because you can. Yes, Google Keep is similar to Apple Notes. It's just a simple note-taking application. And oh, by the way, you all know, well, I'll say on Apple, either iOS device or Android, you can download all of these Google apps directly to your device. So you can put Drive, Calendar, Mail, all those apps. Just go into your app store and you can put them directly on your device if you want to use them on another device other than going to the browser. I tend to go to the browser for most of them. I do have the calendar. Yeah, you absolutely right. I do have the calendar on some of my devices, and that is primarily because I use Fantastical as a link in, because I like the natural language capability to schedule things using Fantastical. But other than that, I just I use the browser most often. I really do use the browser more often than using the apps on the device. Uh, so Tora got jokes, y'all. You see her. Florence's calendar is leaning on the everlasting arms is so full. It's sad to say my calendar is crazy full. Um, but let me just say this, because some people that's a problem for. It's not a problem for me. Um, from as long as I can remember, I am terrible at being idle. I don't do doing nothing well. I'm absolutely horrible at it. Um, I'm not good at just sitting around just kind of generally talking, and I never have been, even as a child. So for me, my calendar being full is my happy place. It is where I'm smooth sailing. Things are going and cooking, and I'm at peace. I'm probably a little different than most people. I'm not usually looking for, how do I, as the saying goes, relax, because for me, relaxing is doing things that I love to do. And I love to be creative. I love to serve. I love to be doing something that's moving my life or someone else's life forward. Okay. So it is full, but it's my happy place. And Frank and the emotional CEO can tell you all about that. They'll tell you, yeah, she's not good at doing nothing. If I'm doing nothing, it's usually because I'm now so exhausted, I'm just going to go to sleep. But that's how I operate. Yeah. Okay, you set up a practice calendar for next week and send it to your admin as a practice. I'll say, great. And if you want to send me the link, Denise, we can test back and forth and try different things and work together, that's fine. You know how to reach me. So that's all I got. I got folks who haven't commented more. Miss Lisa Maria, so glad again. Glad to have you, Micah. Glad to have you, Chris Stone. Excited to have you come through. James Hicks, we need to do your celebration stream. Y'all, I'm telling, because he's not telling anybody, he hit 12,000 subscribers on his channel. He hit 12,000 subscribers on his channel. And he's been putting out, and if y'all have not seen Baby James Hicks, you need to go see Baby James Hicks. That little butterball, the absolute best. The absolute best. But so excited for you, my friend, for what you've accomplished and what's coming next. And Yolanda, Miss Tora is cooking up some kind of panel for me, you, and her to do. I'm a little bit afraid. I just have to tell you, I'm a little bit afraid of what she's gonna do. But we'll see. So thank you that this was a good stream. It provided value. I'm glad to see you all here. We're gonna continue this party. New stuff. I want to do some things with Elgato Virtual Stream Deck. So I want to put something together to show you that as well. That just came up. I'm kind of excited about this. It's in beta right now. It just hit the streets 2 days ago or so. So definitely want to dive into it a little bit with you all. And the last thing I'm going to promise, Laura Thompson, you will get your demo of how to do that entire workflow that I described. Okay? All right. Well, Tora, yes, try them and let me know if you have additional questions because we just keep the party going. You guys have a great, blessed, fantastic weekend with your family. Rest, relax, restore, rejuvenate, all of the re's over the next 3 or 4 days. And I will see you guys back in the next live stream or in the next video. Good night, everybody.